So I have been up since 4 this morning, and it's been like that for like the past 2 weeks. I have been waking up between the hours of 3 and 5. I have been having some crazy ass dreams. I have been dreaming a lot. Every morning, when my wife and I get up, like we'll ask each other, like, "How did you sleep?" And my response is like, because I rarely can remember my dreams. Like if I can remember, I'll tell her, but usually my response is, "Girl, I dreamed a lot." And I know that there is some work being done on me, and I know that that's why I am having all these dreams. I know that is why I'm waking up between the hours of 3 and 5. I have been doing a lot of work with working with my shadow self, those parts of myself that I was taught that are not lovable, those parts of myself that I was shamed into hiding. And there's like a lot of fear around there's a lot of fear around embracing that part of myself. And literally, like, some nights I am like fighting in my sleep with my shadow self, and it's like really big, it's really scary. In one dream, like, I ran and like got under the covers, and but before I put the cover over my head in this dream, like, I watched the shame of like the shadow, like the fear, like get like it was like a small shadow monster, then it got like really 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 big. And first of all, let me back up. I was eating pizza in the dream, and like I just saw the shadowy figure appear, and I could see it on the wall. And like I like ran, got back into bed, and I was eating some pizza, and I like put the pizza under the cover. And then, like, as I was pulling the cover over my head, I could see the shadow like getting really really big. And like I just like hid. And then, like, my mom was in the bed in the dream. My mom's in the bed next to me, and she's like, "Oh, like, I just ignore it. Like, when I see that stuff, I just ignore it, because I have the gift to hear, and I can see." And so that's in my family. That's a gift that pretty much everybody has, and like nobody likes to acknowledge it. They don't. I don't think they know how to acknowledge it. And so when I was talking to my mom about it in real time in the 3D, she was just like, "Yeah, I see them, but I act like I don't see them." Well, I don't have that. I don't get that option. Like, they know that I can see them. So in my dream, that's what my mom was saying to me. Like, yeah, And so I'm like thinking, and even as I'm saying it to y'all, I'm like, well, maybe that's translating into like my mom just avoiding, dealing with her shadow self, dealing with those parts of herself. So by me making the conscious effort to like, fuck it, let's do this. Like, I'm dealing the best way I know how. I am dealing, and literally, I am like saying to fear, like, we not doing this. What's up? What's up? Because I, like, for a very long time, like, I was scared of everything, right? But I was not always like that. Like, growing up, like, first of all, let me say this. Y'all know how it is. As a kid, if you being a kid, your experience as a kid, your kids say whatever the fuck they feel. Like, that's it. We're taught to be quiet, don't say that. As a kid, I just seen people for who they are. My son is the same way. Very sensitive to other people's energy. Peep shit from the rip. Like, I see you. Like, I see you. Like, since I was a kid, I was like that. And I was just shamed into like not speaking up. And people, for a long time, I just allowed people to do and say whatever they wanted to me. My body was rejecting it, but I literally like closed up. And now I'm in that space in my life. I'm about to be 39 years old. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Like I say to my little girl, listen, we can't do this no more. Like, that's not how we started out. Like, we came into this world knowing who the fuck we were. And I know we had this agreement with our parents, to play these roles, our parents, and I know we put this stuff in the soul contract, but now the time is to learn the lesson that fear can't live here anymore. Like, my shadow self, like, I like, there's so much shame in my shadow self, and that person was not allowed to be themselves. And when that person is around people who are being themselves, she's mean. She could be mean. But I know that she's being mean because she's really like, she's sad that they're just being themselves, and for a long time she could not be herself. She was like, she was treated, she got in trouble for being herself. And so when she's around people that are like thriving in their joy, like she doesn't even, she struggles with just like riding that vibe and that wave and that frequency with them, because it's foreign, it's scary. Like the people that was around her was like black and white, and she was always color. And so I am just like, I'm just learning how to like, come on, fear, let's do this. Let's do this, because I can't do this. Like I cannot be scared. I cannot live the rest of my life being scared of myself, being scared of feeling joy, being scared of being around people who are loving, who are living in their joy. Like it feels so weird. Cause now that I'm like really acknowledging my shadow self, like I be, when she be on that bullshit, I be seeing her and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Everybody is a reflection of you. This person that's talking, they just want to share their joy. They just want to be in their joy. Just like you wanted to be in your joy. Like, just observe. Like, don't judge. I was surrounded by that all my life. Just everybody just being judgmental of each other. And I know that it comes from them being judgmental of themselves. Like, I'm so observant, Lord, of the people around me. And I used to, like, for a long time, it was like clouded. Like, I could see it as a kid, and then it became clouded. But now that I'm on this part of my journey, like, I can really see that shit clearly, and I can see everybody around them around me clearly, and I can, like, see them. And I am learning how to have grace for them, right? If I need to distance myself, I will. This is like family, right? I will, but and I'm saying that to say, like, I see where the judgment comes from. Like, I see why I judge myself, because I just was surrounded by people who, they judge themselves. And now that I'm finding my tribe, and I see these people just living in their joy, I want to just, like, run into it tits first. Like, I want to feel that joy with you, friend. Like, yeah. I don't want to, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer and the person that's like bringing a negative energy in a room, because I wasn't allowed to live in my joy. I want to live in joy with them too. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep doing work, because I've been having to get up between hours of 3 and 5 anyway, because I got work to do, man. I remember, let me just say this really quick. My video is like probably all over the place and chaotic. I don't give a shit. I remember, first of all, let me say this. I have been in this cycle for 8 years. Yeah. And I feel like one of my lowest times it was around like maybe like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Let's say 5 or 6 years ago, right? And it was my aunt's 50th birthday. My family, like, we all, like, for the most part, we all, we show up. We all show up and celebrate each other. Like, that's one thing about both sides of my family. One thing we're going to do, we're going to have a jam, meet, jam. Okay, we're going to have us a jam and jam. And so, oh my God, like, I feel like I'm like, okay, let me say this. I feel like I'm chatty and, like, I got this burst of energy. Let me tell y'all why. This Alice brainstorm, it's a mushroom, and it helps with your cognitive function, and it gives you a boost of energy, and like it's really starting to kick in. So I'm like a little like let me tell you. But anyway, so I felt like one of my lowest moments with being on this journey and working through those shadow parts of myself was around my aunt. It was my aunt's 50th birthday, and I was dealing with depression really, really bad. I had moved in with my son's father and his family. We were moving in to save money, and the goal was like between 6 months to a year to stay there and save money. It didn't turn out that way. When he got there with his family, like my boy switched up on me. And so I really got to see who he was, and I got to see his family for who they were, and I felt outnumbered. Like I felt quadruple teamed, and I could have left. I could have just left, right? I could have left, but I came from a family that was like that. I My family was the same way. And, like in hindsight, when I kind of shared with them what was going on, they was like, girl, if you would have told me. But I didn't feel, my point is that I didn't feel safe with neither, like his family or my own family. So I was like, well, what I'm going to do? So I stayed. And I remember just not wanting to be here anymore. And I remember my aunt's birthday, her theme was like Harlem Renaissance. And so I ordered my clothes on Amazon. And I remember like being in constant communication with my therapist and telling her like, this is just too much. Like every time I come home, like it's a woman here that I don't care for. Like I had to straight scrap with this woman. It's a scar in the back of my head because in my 30s I had a fight with this woman. Like we had to get right. And I'm not even like that. I don't like all that. But what you're not gonna do is take my kindness for weakness, because I'm love, peace, and hair grease, but I would nuck if you motherfucking buck. Okay? And so I had to do that. And this woman started coming back to the house because she was friends with his cousin. And so like nobody gave a fuck like how I felt about that. Nobody gave a fuck. And I was paying money to live there. Like you was getting my good $600 to live there. He didn't even see that it was wrong. Like I said, like when we got there, he just switched up on me. And then I was working at a job that I didn't like. It was a lot. Like, no, let me say this. I loved my clients. I loved my clients. By then I was working in case management. I love my clients, but just the job that I work at, like the structure is like it's ratchet. So I'm dealing with like all of this stuff. Every time I come home from work, this woman is sitting in the kitchen. Ma'am, like it was just so fucking weird to me. Every time I come downstairs for work, you in the kitchen, and you're drinking my coffee. Like it was just a lot. It really was a lot. And like I couldn't take it anymore. My therapist had to walk me through not wanting to check myself into a psych ward, not wanting to like hurt myself. My therapist, like, shout out to my, oh my God, she walked me through it. But like that was one of the lowest times in this cycle that I've been in. And it's always around December where like it gets like really like bad for me. And I'm realizing it's just because it's for me to do like an inventory of like the entire year of what's not working, and like how we got to get this situated. Like what we gonna do? Like how we gonna fix this? I didn't know that back then. So for the last 8 years I've been figuring it out, and now it's clicking. you know 8 years of therapy later, 2 years of doing soul work with a spiritual coach, it's starting to click. Like, yeah, you're gonna keep going through these cycles, these karmic cycles, until you learn a lesson, baby girl. So that's where I've been, learning these lessons and laying low. And, I see my friends and my family out having fun, but I've been called to like sit still because I ripped and ran for a very long time. Like, and now I get to like sit with myself, and it's scary. Like I told you, beginning of the video, that shadow self, like it got big and I hid from it. But it's like, no, what are you trying to show me? That monster's a part of me. What you trying to show me? What are you trying to show me, friend? Like, show me what I need to know, baby girl. Show me. So that's where I'm at. That is the space that I am in. Yeah, man. Just keep doing the work. I just encourage anybody that's on a journey, keep going. It's rough, it's messy, it's chaotic, all over the place like my words probably was in this video. But that's okay. Just keep going, man. Just keep going. I love y'all. Peace.